Welcome back, Gooners family. I regret joining Chelsea. It was a mistake. I should never have left Arsenal. Arsenal and Chelsea will face off on Sunday afternoon in a top-of-the-table clash in the Premier League. Emmanuel Petit has expressed deep regret over his decision to leave Arsenal for Barcelona in 2000. The former midfielder later moved to Chelsea, but admits that he wished he had signed for Manchester United instead. The Red and Blue Signs of London are set to face off on Sunday afternoon in a crucial Premier League match. Table toppers Arsenal are currently 6 points ahead of their city rivals, and a victory at Stamford Bridge would further solidify their league dominance. On the other hand, Chelsea are gaining momentum after a 3-0 triumph over Barcelona in the Champions League and will aim to reduce the Gooners' lead to a mere 3 points. One individual who has experienced both sides of the divide is Petit, who joined Arsene Wenger in making the move from Monaco to North London in 1997. During his time with the Gooners, Petit won both the Premier League and FA Cup in his debut season and subsequently became a World Cup champion with France. However, he left Arsenal for Barcelona in 2000 and now admits that he regrets leaving England for Spain. Chelsea leading race for Wonderkid as Enzo Maresca crazy about ceiling transfer. Arsenal given food for thought as £70 million target told to grow up after punishment confirmed. While discussing Felipe Coutinho's 2018 transfer to Barcelona, Petit told the Mirror, "If I was Felipe Coutinho, every morning I would wake up and think to myself, why did I sign for Barcelona in Spain? And do you know why I say this? Because I can remember the time when I'd wake up, when I was at Barcelona, when I left Arsenal, and I was thinking the same way. Why did I leave? Why did I leave? Why did I leave?" Shortly after Petit's move to Barcelona, he found himself being tempted back to the Premier League, with Arsenal amongst several clubs keen on the midfielder. Discussing his choice not to rejoin the Gooners, he said, "When I was at Barcelona, they wanted me back at Arsenal, and it was tempting. I was close to returning to Arsenal. But at the end of the day, I was thinking, Emmanuel, you need to be honest with yourself. If you left a year ago, it was for a reason." Petit ultimately signed for Chelsea, where he spent 3 seasons at Stamford Bridge without securing any silverware. Speaking to 444 in 2023, the Frenchman admitted that while he hadn't wanted to return to Arsenal, he should have opted for a different Premier League heavyweight instead. Petit said, "I had many clubs interested in taking me back to England in 2001. Arsenal approached me, but so did Manchester United. I spoke to Arsene. He really wanted me back, but I was honest with him. I said, I appreciate it and it's very tempting, but I didn't feel that you wanted me to stay when I signed for Barcelona a year ago. It's like divorcing somebody. When you don't feel desired by them, what's the point of going back? I should have gone to Manchester United because Sir Alex Ferguson called me twice. We had a very good conversation and it was tempting, but once again I listened to my wife. She wanted to go back to London. She didn't want to live in Manchester, so I made the same mistake twice in 1 year." Thierry Henry has told Mikel Arteta why Arsenal must intercept Chelsea's £56 million bargain transfer. Thierry Henry has told Mikel Arteta why Arsenal must intercept Chelsea's £56 million bargain transfer. Introduction: a warning from an Arsenal legend. When Thierry Henry speaks about Arsenal, people inside and outside the club listen. Not because he once wore the shirt, not because he is the club's greatest ever player, but because Arsenal understands Arsenal's identity better than almost anyone alive. He understands what the club needs, what it lacks, and crucially, what mistakes it cannot afford to repeat. So when Thierry Henry reportedly made it clear that Arsenal must not allow Chelsea to complete a £56 million bargain transfer without a fight, it sent shockwaves through the fanbase. This was not nostalgia talking. This was not sentimentality. This was a cold, tactical assessment of where Arsenal are, where Chelsea are rebuilding from, and how a single signing could tilt the balance of power in London and possibly the Premier League for years to come. Mikel Arteta has rebuilt Arsenal into title contenders again. The Gooners are no longer chasing 4th place. They are chasing Manchester City. But the margins at the top are brutal. 1 elite signing missed, 1 rival strengthened, 1 moment of hesitation, and a season can unravel. According to Henry's thinking, this £56 million deal is exactly the type of opportunity Arsenal cannot afford to watch from the sidelines. Why this transfer is being called a bargain? In modern football, £56 million is no longer the astronomical figure it once was. Chelsea themselves have spent well over £1 billion across recent transfer windows, often paying inflated fees for unproven profiles. Yet this particular deal has raised eyebrows across the football world because of what it represents. This is a player entering or already in his prime, a player with elite technical quality, a player who fits the modern tactical demands of high-pressing, possession-dominant football, a player whose market value could easily exceed £80 to £90 million within 2 seasons.
Henry's concern is not simply about the price, it's about value, timing, and fit. In Henry's eyes, this is exactly the type of signing Arsenal themselves made when they brought in Martin Odegaard permanently or snapped up William Saliba early before the market exploded. Miss this window, and Arsenal could be priced out forever. Henry's relationship with Mikel Arteta. Henry and Arteta share a unique footballing bond. Arteta played alongside Henry during the Spaniards' early Arsenal years. Later, Henry returned to the club as a coach, while Arteta was Pep Guardiola's assistant at Manchester City. Their philosophies overlap more than people realize. Both believe in positional play, elite technical quality, intelligence over raw physicality, players who can dominate space, not just opponents. Henry knows Arteta is building something special, but he also knows that elite teams are ruthless in the transfer market. Manchester City do not wait, Real Madrid do not hesitate, Bayern Munich do not allow rivals to strengthen uncontested. In Henry's view, Arsenal must now behave like a true superpower. Chelsea strategy, opportunistic rebuild. Chelsea's interest in this £56 million target is part of a broader strategy shift. After years of chaotic spending, Chelsea are now trying to find value, players who are young enough to develop, but ready enough to contribute immediately. This is where Arsenal come in. Chelsea believe they can swoop in quietly, finalize the deal, and develop the player away from the spotlight. Henry believes Arsenal should intercept that plan, not only to strengthen themselves, but to deny a direct rival a potentially transformative asset. London derbies are often decided by fine margins. So are league titles. Tactical fit. Why this player makes sense for Arsenal. One of Henry's strongest arguments is tactical. This player fits Arsenal's system almost too perfectly. 1. Positional versatility. Arteta values players who can operate in multiple zones. This target can play centrally, drift wide, drop into build-up phases, attack the box late. That flexibility allows Arsenal to rotate without losing structure, something they struggled with when injuries hit last season. 2. Press resistance. Against elite teams, Arsenal sometimes struggle when pressed aggressively. This player thrives under pressure. He receives the ball in tight spaces, turns quickly, and progresses play forward, exactly what Arteta demands. 3. Physical and mental profile. The Premier League is unforgiving. Henry believes this player already has the physical resilience and mentality to handle pressure, criticism, and high expectations, something not every young signing can manage. Learning from past mistakes. Henry's warning is shaped by Arsenal's past failures in the transfer market. How many times have Arsenal monitored a player, hesitated over price, allowed a rival to move first, watched that player flourish elsewhere? From N'Golo Kante to Eden Hazard to even more recent examples, Arsenal have often been one step late. Henry believes the current Arsenal project is too advanced to repeat those errors. The £56 million question, is it a risk? Every transfer carries risk. Henry does not deny that. But he argues that not signing this player may be the bigger risk. Arsenal are entering a phase where expectations are sky high. Arteta's squad is close to its peak. Rivals are reloading aggressively. If Arsenal fail to evolve while others improve, stagnation sets in. And stagnation, at the top level, is fatal. Financial perspective. Arsenal can afford it. Another key point Henry reportedly raised was financial reality. Arsenal are no longer a selling club. They are no longer burdened by massive wage inefficiencies. Champions League revenue has returned. Commercial growth is strong. £56 million spread across a long-term contract is manageable, especially for a player who could define Arsenal's next 5 years. From Henry's perspective, this is not reckless spending. It's strategic investment. What this means for Mikel Arteta. Mikel Arteta now faces a defining decision. Does he trust his current squad entirely, or add one more elite piece to push Arsenal over the line? Henry believes titles are won by managers who act decisively at the right moment. The squad is loose, but football history shows that almost enough is never enough. Fan reaction and expectation. Among Arsenal supporters, the reaction has been intense. Many fans agree with Henry's stance. Arsenal cannot allow Chelsea to strengthen quietly. Arsenal must think like champions. Arsenal must show ambition equal to their performances. Others worry about squad balance and overloading certain positions. But Henry's argument remains simple. Elite competition demands elite depth. The psychological edge. Transfers are not just about tactics, they are about psychology. Signing a player Chelsea wants sends a message. To rivals, to the dressing room, to the league. It says Arsenal are no longer cautious observers, they are aggressors. Henry understands this better than anyone. Final verdict, a defining moment for Arsenal's project. Thierry Henry's message to Mikel Arteta is clear, direct, and urgent. If Arsenal want to become champions, not contenders, they must act like champions in the transfer market. This £56 million deal is not just about one player. It's about ambition. It's about timing. It's about refusing to stand still while rivals move forward. Chelsea see an opportunity. Henry sees a warning. Arteta now faces a choice that could shape Arsenal's future. And in modern football, the cost of hesitation is often far higher than the cost of action. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment.